So you are going to start with a slip knot here. So make your slip knot however it is that you do that personally. Tighten it up here. And you're going to start with a chain 2. So you're going to do chain 1 and chain 2. So here you're going to do a single crochet into the second chain from your hook. But before you close that first single crochet, you're going to change to your second color, color B. You're going to pull that second color through to close the single crochet with it. And so you're going to pull that through, close that first single crochet, pull it all down so it's nice and tight. And now insert another single crochet into that same stitch with now color B. And there you are. Now you have 2 stitches, one in color A, one in color B. And we'll be switching colors as we go along. I'll show you how. So you're going to chain 1 and flip your work. This is how you're going to start every single row. And onto that first stitch, you're going to create an increase. So 1 single crochet. And now the second one, before you finish it and close it, you're going to switch colors. So you're going to grab color A and you're going to pull that through to change. And now onto that last stitch, you're going to create an increase as well. 1 with this color, and you stay with this color, and you create your second one. So you'll see how the triangle starts to create. Now you're going to chain 1 again and flip your work. On the edge, you're going to have 4 stitches here now. You can see 4. On the edge stitches is where you're going to create your increases. So this is an edge stitch. You're going to create an increase of 2 into the same stitch. Now onto the next one, you're going to make 1 single crochet, but before you close it, you're going to change colors. Now on, it's important to make sure that your colors are on the same side. So you're going to pull, for example, this brown to the side where the working yarn of the beige is, so that your working yarns are always on the same side of your work. So it gets tricky at the beginning because you have your tails, but anyhow, I pull my brown forward. I pull it nice and tight. Away from my continuing working stitches there, the beige ones. I know it's kind of messy right now, but you're going to close it off with color B once again, moving your things out of the way, pulling through your stitches so that you can kind of see them, the stitches that you have left. I promise it gets easier once the triangle gets a little bigger. So you've changed colors here. I forgot to make sure that the working yarn is in the back so I can pull it through. So I'm going to have to adjust that in a minute here. It's in front, as you can see. This is a mistake. You got to pull it to the back. Then you can push your hook in. And now you can create that single crochet with color B. And onto the last one, the edge stitch, you're going to create an increase of 2. You can also notice here how my working brown is on the same side that the beige was. Okay, and at this point I have 6 stitches. So you're adding to the edges every row 2 of them, and that's why you're increasing 2 stitches per row. So next row, single crochet. We're going to do this again. You're going to insert an increase at the edge with this color because you're working on the color B, I guess, side of the triangle. Now you're just going to add 1 single crochet to each stitch until you get to the middle where you're going to change colors. Now we can leave that in the back because my working brown yarn is in the back. So they're on the same side. I'm showing you that right now. So I'm going to pull through, pull them all down so it's nice and tight, close off that single crochet with now color A or brown, and we're going to continue the row. You're going to do 1 single crochet here, 1 single crochet to the next stitch, and then an increase at the very last one. So that's going to be 1 and 2. And at the end of this row, you should have 8 stitches. essentially add 2 to the previous row for your stitch count. Okay, let's do one more here. You're going to chain 1, flip your work, do an increase at the edge of the row here. So that's 2 into the same stitch. And now 1 single crochet until you need to switch colors, which is going to be right here in the middle. You're going to pull the brown forward, right? Because the working yarn is on this side. And now you're going to close it off with the other color. And now you're going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch until you get to the last one. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet here, and 2 at the very last one for your increase. Sometimes it can get kind of tight, but that's okay. Pull through 1 and 2. All right, and now your triangle has grown quite a bit. Let's add 2 more stitches for your stitch count. You can start seeing here the working yarn and what it looks like. It kind of overlaps. So that's why it's important to have it all always in the same side, so that that look is just on the one side, which will be the inside, and this is the outside of your top. You can't see anything except for the color change perfectly. All right, one more time. This is the last one I'll do with you guys. So we're going to do a chain 1, flip your work, do an increase at the edge, 1 and 2, 2 here, and then 1 single crochet until you have to change colors. So that's going to be coming up soon here. Change colors. Again, on this round, the working yarns are at the back, so you just leave those in the back. Pull it all tight, and now you do 1 single crochet across until you get to the last stitch here. So that's gonna be 1 and 2, 3, 4, and now you're at the last stitch, and you're going to do an increase. So you're gonna repeat this until you get the length that you want, and I'll show you what that is. And so this is what my top looks like so far with the first 2 panels. Just for reference, the last 2 rows, I didn't actually do an increase. I just worked 1 single crochet in each stitch. And essentially this measures across 17.25 inches. What I want to show you is where you want to stop with the top. Basically going to go from here down, and then you want to stop almost like in the middle of your body, and then you're going to work it back down. So it's fully exposed back, but the point is that you want to make it as wide as it goes over top of your bust, and then stop wherever you find that it's like mid of your side body, and then you start going back down. You know what I mean? All right, so back to the other side of the top where we're going to decrease down. We got to change the color, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. I'm going to cut this, leaving a tail so I can weave it in. So that's cut. Now, I'm going to, before I finish the very last one, which is just 1 single crochet, it's not an increase anymore, I'm going to close it off with the other color. In this case, my brown. That's what I want this triangle to be. Pull it through. Let's see, pull it through. Cool, you close that off. And then we go, and we're gonna start this round. Again, this round is just single crochets. So I'm gonna make sure that everything is nice and tight. I'm gonna do a round of single crochets to start my 3rd triangle, and all the way to the middle. So here we are, 1 stitch away from having to switch colors, and I'm going to cut this, leaving a long tail here as well so I can weave it in. Cool. Now I'm going to need this beige to change colors. So before I close this last stitch, I'm going to grab my other color and pull it through. Okay, and close it off with that, leaving them in the back, right? This is the front, this is the back. You can tell because of the change of yarn there. So now I'm going to change my color. I'm going to weave in the end as I go. The end from the new color, I mean. So I'm going to create single crochets until the end of the row. At the very end of the row, you're not going to do an increase, you're going to do just one single crochet. Single crochet. And here we are, we've finished the change of colors. Now you can see that they're gonna be like opposite. And we're gonna do one more row of just singles, and then we're gonna do rows of decreases. So here I'm gonna do just single crochets all the way back, and I'll show you how to make a decrease when the time comes. Okay, I've done my 2 rows of single crochets only. So now we're gonna start decreasing the triangles. So we are going to start by chaining 1, as always, turning our work, and on the edges we're going to do decreases, just 1 decrease, and then continue with single crochet. So here's an edge, we're going to go into the first chain there, pull it through as if you're going to do a single crochet, but before finishing, actually go into the next stitch, pull through again. So you're going to have 3 loops on your hook, and you're going to pull through all 3 loops to create a decrease, essentially combining 2 into 1. I'm going to do that again to show you. So we've done our chain 1, I'm going to push through 1, pull, that's 2 loops in your hook, push through the next one, now you have 3 loops in your hook, and you're going to pull through all 3. That's a decrease right there. And now we're going to do single crochet until we're at the very last 2 stitches, and you're going to combine those to do a decrease. And that's exactly what you're going to do moving forward. Every single row you're going to do decreases at the very edges, and then 1 single crochet in the middle until you get to the end of the triangle where you'll just have 2 stitches there. Here is the finalized piece for the top. So it's a bit of a rhombus. It does curl up a bit, but that's okay. It'll adjust to your body when you pull it back. So we've got, this is the side we already had, that's 17 inches for me. And the top is gonna be like 14 and a half. I don't know if you can see that there, so I'll push this up a bit. 14 and a half. Cool, and now we're gonna add the straps. So remember how your top has a front and a back? So we're going to make sure it's at the front, and whichever way you want it to be, I guess it's the same thing technically. So we are going to add this like rope to the top. I'm just gonna kind of create, this is how I did it last time, and I think it works. So just in between your stitches, kind of at the very top there, even you can use the hook to help find like the gap that you want to insert it in. So for me, it's going to be right over here, and I'm going to honestly just with my fingers push. It might take a little bit of wiggling, but once you grab it from the other side, there you go. Now it's pushed through, and it's around the top of your top. And now we're gonna add the side strings. For that one, I actually do add them directly to the sides, by inserting the yarn and like attaching it to the work, just cause it's gonna be extra secure as well for the sides. So you're gonna create a slip knot and attach your yarn to the side. I'm gonna do it right at where the colors change, right over there. I'm gonna pull it through. And now I'm going to create a chain. I will let you know how big this chain is once I kind of measured it and finished it. But I'm gonna do the same idea. I'm gonna create this chain however long I want it to be, so that it wraps around my body and I'm able to do a tie in the back and it like falls. So you gotta make sure that it's quite long. And then once I determine the length, then I'm gonna just slip stitch back so that it's the same look as this other one. That's, you can tell the difference. You see how this is much thinner and this is much thicker. So I will leave in writing here how many chains I end up doing and how much it approximately measures in terms of length. All right, so now you repeat on both sides of the top. You add the same length of a chain and do the slip stitch back to have the thick straps. We're going to weave your ends and then you'll have your top ready to go.